Good morning and welcome to Member Focus Monday. I'm Christina Schaefer, Director of Social Media for HAR, and we're very pleased to open up the year with our 2024 HAR Chair of the Board, Thomas Mouton. Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome, Thomas, to the program.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. And I should also just take a brief moment to wish you a happy birthday. If you don't know and you're tuning in this morning, wish Thomas a happy birthday in the comments. He decided to start off his birthday right by joining me on Member Focus Monday.
Absolutely. No other way. Thank you, Christina.
Absolutely. Well, Thomas, again, thank you so much for your time this morning. You were installed in December at Realtor Celebration as the 2024 chair of the board. And we know that you have a lot on your plate, a lot that you're looking forward to this year, some issues that you're taking a look at. And we're going to discuss all of that today. But for those tuning in who may not know all about you just yet, tell us a little bit about yourself, Thomas, who you are and what you do.
Sure. Not a lot to me. Thomas Mouton here. I've spent about 25 years in this industry. I've been on both the mortgage and real estate side. My wife and I are partners with our Century 21 exclusive properties franchise. Have four beautiful children. Um, and that's where I spend the majority of my time at is my boys in basketball. And I'm usually at home if I'm not working.
Tell us a little bit about the work side, because you're focused on the commercial side, but you're also a broker, right?
No, actually, my wife is the broker of the
Mm-hmm.
company, but I am 100% commercial. And so she primarily handles all the residential side of the brokers. We have a little bit under, I think about 80 agents, 78 agents, something along the lines of that. So we do practice residential and commercial here, but I'm primarily a commercial practitioner.
Very good. So, what made you decide to run for the board of directors just to start, and then subsequently the executive committee?
Sure. Leadership has always been a passion of mine. It's not something that I set out to do. It's almost something that's in my DNA. And so with me, I don't do things just to do it, right? I have to look at, is there value? Can I bring value somewhere? And also timing in life. So at that time when I decided to run for I'm sorry, to run for the board of directors, it kind of started with TRLP in the beginning. I did TRLP in 2015, went through Reader's program for 9 months, and I realized this was something that I wanted to be a part of. And so I decided to run for the board, ran there successfully. It was always told to me that you impact change greater from the inside than the outside. So when I was, looking at the dynamic of the board, looking at the executive committee, I just knew that I can make a positive impact somewhere. And so with that, I decided to run, and I was fortunate enough that my peers seen something in me and elected me there.
Mm-hmm. And then for executive committee, because that is, I mean, the board is a huge commitment, but the executive committee, that's a several year commitment. So, and which ends with, or not ends, but with results in you being the chair of the board. So, what made you decide to take even one more step further?
You know, everyone tells you how it's like you give your life up, right? And you don't really know what that means until you get entrenched in it. And so again, what made me take that next level was, seeing what that next level of responsibility is, and seeing again that I can impact change at a higher level.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of critical decisions that's made at the level, and it takes a certain person with a certain mindset to be able to make decisions that's not just about you, right? It's about the other members that's affiliated with the association. So there's a lot of decisions that I make that I may not personally agree with, but it benefits the masses. And so being able to be in a position like that, it's rewarding and it's challenging at the same time because it is a huge commitment. You have a huge responsibility to everyone, and I'm honored to be able to serve in that capacity.
That's wonderful, and that's such a good point. I'm glad you mentioned it. You're not making just decisions for yourself or your, company. You're making decisions for 51,000 other members, and they may not be popular ones or ones you agree with, but they're the right decisions at the time. So thank you for that, and thank you, of course, for your leadership and taking your time to serve. Let's dive into this year. So, what do you expect for the 2024 real estate market, just in regard to inventory pricing? mortgage interest rates. What are your expectations?
Well, the expectations, obviously, I have great expectations and I have positive expectations because I'm a half full guy. The reality of it is we at the mercy of the feds and the interest rates. I think builders are still building right now. I think inventory um, is at a lot better place today than it was last year. I think buyers I'm sorry, I think sellers are actually starting to swing the pendulum a little bit closer to making decisions. I think those that's been sitting on the fence, waiting, is getting closer to actually making a move right now. But obviously, the interest rate has a lot to do with that, a lot of uncertainty. I think a lot of potential buyers started renting last year,
Mm-hmm.
and so they're coming out of those lease situations that they're a little bit more prone to purchasing this year. But I think it's going to be a very positive year. I'm getting a lot of positive feedback, even from our office. Personally, we're getting a lot of buzz. Agents out showing homes again at a great pace. So I think regardless of it, I think 2024 is going to be a great year, and I think those that's been sitting on the fence for the last year and a half is finally going to make a decision.
That's wonderful. You mentioned that we're kind of watching the Fed and the mortgage interest rates. I heard someone say recently, and they're obviously taking a positive approach here with what they said. They said that this year is going to be the year of the first-time home buyers. The first-time home buyers that have been waiting and hanging on and renting, as you said. So let's all hope that happens. And of course, the sellers, as you said, that are finally deciding to sell. So excellent. Thank you for that. And of course, HAR keeps its members updated weekly, actually, with those stats, and you can always take a look in our newsroom to see the latest, and it's broken down by area but also the overall Houston metro area, so we can share a link to the newsroom in the comments for anybody that's looking for that. So aside from the market and mortgage interest rates, what other challenges do you see within the real estate industry right now that you believe our members should be paying attention to?
I still think affordability, right? I mean, that's still the key buzzword. A lot of people are trying to find relief out there um, because you still, and it's a couple segments to that, right? A corporate couple things that's keeping it unbalanced. You still have an influx of the coastal movers here, from East Coast and West Coast that's coming here with deeper pockets and deeper financial advantages over, first time home buyers or typical buyers here because they have such a mass down payment they can put down.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're still, prices are still being driven up. I know builders are having an increase first quarter of this year because material prices are still going up. So, with that being said, I mean, affordability is still going to be an issue, right? And I still think we have to find solutions. I know HAR, we're constantly having these communications of what tools, what programs out there, what can we drive to our membership, right, to help with that affordability. I mean, it's across the nation. When we're in DC and I'm with my counterparts, everyone is trying to figure out what is a great affordability solution, and here as well. So for native Houstonians like myself, that I remember my very first investment home, I paid $51,000 for it, right? And so those days are gone now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and so there's it's just it's a psychological shift, but at the same time, it's still a great time to buy investment properties. But I think affordability is still at the forefront of people's mind right now.
Absolutely. Any other issues that you want to mention that our members should be paying attention to aside from affordability?
Still insurance, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think the rising cost of insurance is still, um, I mean, it's affecting everyone across the board, whether you've had a claim or didn't have a claim.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we have an insurance agent here in our office, agency here in our office, and we were going over some policies that because our car insurance has almost doubled without any claims, without anything. And he said, "Man, we gotta keep our focus on your home insurance policy, because those, it's a rate increase across the board.
Mm-hmm.
And for those that's, you know, maybe on the fence of being able to afford where they're currently at now, or their financing options are pretty slim. The insurance rate can make a difference in someone getting approved for a home, I mean, for a loan or not right now. So insurance is definitely another topic that I don't think people really paying a lot of attention to, but really should pay a lot of close attention to that in 2024.
Definitely. We're seeing some things in states like Florida that it's pretty shocking what's happening with insurance. So definitely a great point to bring up. Something our members should be paying attention to. So are there any other challenges within the industry right now that you believe realtors should be looking at?
I mean, obviously the lawsuits, right? I mean, that's
Mm-hmm.
you can't you can't mistake that right now. I mean, there's so many uncertainties right now with how the lawsuit is going to affect everyone. I think we can all agree that it will affect everyone in some capacity, right? Whether that's small or big, there will be an effect to that. So, I think we have to protect our industry ourselves as agents, right? We can't always allow on the government or instances like this. So, making sure that we are doing and creating good habits in the processes in which we service our clients and keeping our fiduciary duty in mind. So, making sure that we have buyer rep agreements, making sure all your documentation is clear and concise. Making sure your value proposition is there. Um, just making sure that we keep our tools sharp and we're really, really clearly defining and communicating our steps with our clients.
Yeah, great advice. Thank you so much for that, Thomas. So, what are your goals this year as 2024 chair of the board? What are your goals? What are you looking to do this year?
It's crazy. I subconsciously thought about that all of 2023, right? You start planning and we had strat planning in Galveston. You start thinking about what your goals are. Um, and then all these other things start affecting it towards the last quarter of the year, right? Even with the lawsuits, through a wrinkle in that. But at the end of the day, you have to remain to the core, right, of goals and so forth. So, for me, some of the goals are still there. For instance, would love to be able to continue to expand HAR's reach, right, either through additional MLS relationships that we have. But, right now, a lot of people are pulling back. And I think this is the time that we continue to go forward and go forward even more so, right, to expand our reach. So definitely. We'd love to continue to look at what tools and programs that HAR can offer to the membership. We're not looking to decrease our value. We're looking to increase it, even in what they call a downtime right now. So much uncertainty. I think affordability, right? Affordability is still at the forefront. Uh, what programs out there? What can we help deliver to the consumers? Also, just a storyline of what affordability is, because that alone it's always been a hot topic, right? What is affordability? And
Hmm.
I think there's some bad narratives out there with Section 8 and those type of buyers, but that's not, the case be all when it comes to affordability. You have a middle class. Um, we have a middle class out there that their increase in pay is just not there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Inflation is really outpacing what they bring home and is not keeping up with that. So there's still a segment of people that that's being left behind. So we have that part, and then also, I'm still big on our DEI program, but also with the inclusion part. So I want to make sure that our affiliate partners are at the table, because all of these things that we're talking about bleeds over to that, and we want to make sure that our affiliate partners are heard. We want to make sure that we're bringing value to them as well.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. I just wanted to address a couple comments that were coming in. Of course, we have several people wishing you a happy birthday, Thomas. So happy birthday from several of our members that are tuned in. A comment here from Delora Wilkinson. She just said, "Great to see our 2024 chairman and wish you and your leadership and staff the best for a wonderful year." Steph Gordon said, "Wonderful news to hear Thomas Mouton as HAR chair." Discussing the affordability a little bit, Stefan said non-real estate costs of living are also affecting affordability, which is something you kind of just mentioned. The people, not getting raises but still having to pay for all these things. He continued the psychological effect of seeing the grocery bill is a deterrence to purchasing a home for many people. So, excellent point there for Stefan. And one more here, Rhonda just was mentioning about insurance. She said insurance costs have really gone up. Great reason to have your buyers check out the cost during their option period now more than ever before. So, excellent points there from our members. So, Thomas, with that, there's obviously a lot of challenges, a lot going on within the industry, and so many different things that our members could and should be paying attention to. What is your advice for every level, for agents, for managers, for brokers? What is your advice as they face this market that seems to be changing or has already changed?
It's a great question, and I just had an aha moment last Thursday. Matter of fact, I was meeting with an agent, and so 2023 has been a down year for probably the majority of the agents in the marketplace, right? And
Hmm.
so this guy, one of our agents had the best year of his career in a down market, right? And he doubled his production numbers, and so we're sitting there and we're talking about how he did it and so forth. And I think the common theme is just getting back to the basics. No matter how advanced technology is, and yes, you have to incorporate technology into your business. It's a must. But the still core foundation and fundamentals of real estate is still there. And I think a lot of people who got into this business, let's call it 2, 3, 4 years ago when the market was on fire,
Hmm.
uh, they didn't have the skill set of those who's been in this for 10, 15, 20 years because we learned the foundational importance of having a system and being able to exceed through cycles. And that's one of the things that I always advise or when I talk to my agent, it's about being able to um, make a living in this real estate market through cycles because it's always cycles, it's always ups, it's always down. How do you maintain it through that? And so fundamentally, everyone has to get back to the basics of just honing in their core fundamentals of real estate and a real estate transaction.
Yeah, that's that wonderful advice. And of course, there's so many courses available to our members, har.com/education. It's a great place to start. There's marketing, farming, all kinds of different classes that you could be taking. Of course, accreditations as well, like buyer's rep or seller's rep. What about for the brokers and managers, especially as they maybe look at different variables, like you mentioned, going on in the industry? What are your suggestions for maybe the managers and brokers?
I think the management board, it's the same thing. You get back to the fundamentals of, we have the duty of servicing our agents, right? And so, there's a broker's model out here for everyone, especially now this time of year. We see agents shifting for all different type of reasons, right? And especially now with these lawsuits going, agents have a little bit more uncertainty of protection. Where should I go? What should I do? So we too have to make sure that we communicate our value proposition and remind agents of how resourceful and impactful we are to them and to their careers. 'Cause a lot of time agents build up to a certain point and they feel like they can do things on their own, but sometimes they have to be reminded of how you got there and
Mm.
the support system that you have. So as a broker, as an owner, as a manager, we have to continue to touch the agents probably a little bit more than we have before. We probably have to reach out more from our side versus waiting on them to reach out to us. So again, it's highlighting your value proposition to them, but highlighting their value proposition of being a part of your brokerage or your firm and reminding them of what value you do bring to them to ensure that they're successful at their business.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Thomas. I was checking to see if there were any other questions or comments for you. Just people really agreeing with all of your messaging about affordability, something that we should definitely be paying attention to. And look, of course, as realtors looking for options for your clients and customers. I don't see any questions for you, Thomas, but is there anything else that you want to share with our members today? Any final thoughts for us?
Well, of course I do. My whole thing is, stop paying attention to the media. To me, media is biased. It's based on negativity. But man, I really think this is going to be a great year for us as agents. Um, I think it's going to be a wonderful year, and everyone keep their nose to the grind. I think just going back to the core fundamentals, as I was going through, where do you go to Inman? Where do
Hmm.
you go to 360? As I travel across the country and you attend these seminars, the messaging is pretty consistent, right? Let's get back to the basics. Your database is more important now than it's ever been, right? And you don't always have to run out and go purchase leads. Your leads are already here and internally. So search within yourself, get those clients out of your emails, get them off these Excel spreadsheets and get them into your CRM tools. And there's a huge cost saving, but you have clients here and ready to go. So just stay positive for 2024 through, the lawsuit challenges that we're facing in the industry, because every week someone is being sued. It's front news
Hmm.
across the country, but we're still in a great position here locally in Houston. And I want everyone to just stay focused on that and doing the best business that they can.
Excellent. We did have a question just come in from Tina Wilcher. She said, "What's the one big thing that agents can do to get a jump start on gaining new business in 2024?"
Thank you, Tina. Well, your new business is already internal, right? So making sure that you get those clients into your CRM, cleaning up your CRM tool, and if you don't have one, making sure that you do get a CRM. But again, we have to go meet those clients where they are, and a lot of them are on the fence, and they don't know what the next move we're going to be, or they want to know, well, if I sell, then where do I go? And so we have to help conjure up that message to them to show them the benefit of that. So that's a question they've been asking themselves for the last year and a half or 2 years. But to answer your question, Tina, it's simply it's internal. So get those text messages off your text message, get those emails off, get those old clients, get them into the CRM, get your CRM fired up, and let your technology work for itself.
Very good. And she actually followed up with a comment: "The CRM is a great tool when it's used." Thanks, Thomas. So great point. Like you're saying, use what you have. Very good. I just wanted to share a couple more comments that came in briefly. There was a comment from Carlene Johnson, CJ Johnson. She said, "Thank you for including our affiliate partners. HAR initiating collaboration with our association demonstrates that we're all working towards the same goal." And as we know, CJ is very involved with VA rep. So thank you, CJ, for that comment. And one more comment that we wanted to share from Renee Galvan, HR's Executive Vice President. He said, "Happy birthday, Thomas. Looking forward to a great 2024." And I definitely agree with that comment.
Thank you.
Very good. Well, yeah, that I was just checking. I thought we had one more question, but it was just another comment saying looking forward to a great year, as we all are. Thomas, thank you so much for everything that you shared with us this morning. We look forward to your leadership this year, and definitely. Just looking forward to a great year. As again, you mentioned so many different things that we should be paying attention to, but overall, I heard a very positive message from you this morning.
Absolutely. Like I say, I'm a glass half full guy, so I'm always looking at the bright side of everything. But I really and truly believe that through everything we went through 2023, what's in front of us in 2024 is really going to be a great year for us. I'm really looking forward to leading this association and leading our membership to something greater on the other side.
Excellent. Well, thank you again, Thomas. Before we go, I want to let everyone know we will not have a Member Focus Monday next year, as we will be observing Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We will be back on January 22nd with telling you about a wonderful program that's going to help you with your clients and customers as they work to save for a down payment for a home. We just talked about affordability, saving for a down payment. There's a really great opportunity that we are excited to share with you guys. So be sure to set your calendars, January 22nd, 9 a.m. We'll be back with another Member Focus Monday for you. Thomas, again, happy birthday. Thank you so much for spending your morning with me and with our members. And I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Chrissy, and thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.